Hey guys, it's Erin from Yoga Strong, and I want to do a little recap of our class 2 in our beginner series, Warrior 2. Warrior 2 is a standing strength pose, and it's called that because it's a pose where you're standing and it takes a lot of strength. So a little sounds self-explanatory, but that's what it is. It means you're standing and you're using all these big muscles. Your legs have your biggest muscles. So when you use those, it does take a lot of strength and a lot of energy, but it is really good for making you stronger. We're also going to be working with some balance in these poses. So for Warrior 2, what I wanted to kind of recap with you is where your feet should be and just giving you some tips on how to come into Warrior 2 or practice it at home. So I'm going to start with my right foot forward. My front foot is facing the short edge of the mat. My left foot is back behind me, and my toes are facing the long edge of the mat. So you can see they're perpendicular to each other. Front toes face forward, back toes face the side. Your torso needs to be right in the middle. So when we sink into this leg, we're not bringing our torso with us. We're keeping our torso in the middle. So from this position, our feet are where they're supposed to be. Now let's talk about our legs. Your back leg is going to stay long. We're going to bend into our front leg. So we're bending into this right leg. We're trying to keep our knee right over our ankle. And like I said, we're trying to keep our torso right in the middle. Our hands, we're going to open up wide. If you want, you can kind of take them in front of you so you can see them in your peripheral, see if they're even, and then open them back up. And then we're looking over our front hand. So you can see I'm not taking my torso with me. I'm not turning to the front. I've got my arms extended. My torso is straight through the center, and it's just my gaze going over the front. So this is our Warrior 2, and we can sink into this leg. Let's straighten up there. I'm going to give you a couple of tips that you can practice at home. So using a wall, you can help with your strength and your alignment in a Warrior 2 position. It's hard for me to use a wall here to show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to use this block and pretend like it's a wall. So of course, this is not going to give me support because I'm not going to be able to press into it. But if it was an actual wall here, then know that it would support you and help you in these poses. So if you're not sure if your knee is bent at the right angle, let's take our front foot towards the wall. So your toes are touching the wall. Your back foot is behind you, perpendicular. As you sink in, you'll be able to tell if you're overextended, your knee will be pressed into the wall. That's not what we want. So you'll be able to see it when your leg is parallel to the wall here. So that's one way you can use the wall to help you. Now, if you need some help with balance or strength holding this pose, let's go the other way. So this time I've got my left foot in front, my right foot is back. Remember, our back foot is perpendicular. So now instead of my toes facing the wall, now it's my pinky edge side of my foot that's facing the wall. And you can imagine if there's a wall here, I can use this wall as a touch point to give me some balance and to help support me. So now I can sink into this front leg, use the wall to help give me some strength and balance, and sink into my Warrior 2 here. Another tip is when you're in your Warrior 2, you don't have to be on a tightrope. So your front foot does not have to bisect your back foot. You don't have to be in a straight line. If you need a little bit of help with balance, take that front foot out a step and sink in, just opening up a little. When you open up your stance, it gives you a little bit more balance than when you're on this tightrope. Let's go through a little Warrior 2 flow to practice at home. So we practice this at the end of class, and we're going to go from a Warrior 2, reverse warrior, extended side angle. And remember, if you do it on the right side, you've got to do it on the left side. So we'll start up front in our mountain pose, which is also a standing strength pose because we're standing, we're using our leg muscles. Engage these muscles, ground down through your feet. We'll step our left foot backwards, turn our toes perpendicular. So our back toes are facing the long side, front toes are facing the short side. Let's sink into our warrior two, looking out over our front hand. Again, you can kind of take your hands out, make sure they're level, open them back up. Inhale here. We're going to flip this front palm, our right palm. Left hand's going to come down to our leg. As we inhale, lifting our right hand up, letting our left hand slide down, making yourself long and tall. Exhale, your forearm's going to come down to your right knee. Left arm is going to reach up and over. Extended side angle. And then inhale back to your warrior two. Now, I'm just going to take my front foot, turn it towards the long side, and take my back foot and turn it this way. So I'm just changing my orientation of my feet. So I'm going from a warrior two on my right side to a warrior two on my left side just by switching my feet. So now my left toes are facing the short edge of the mat. My right toes are facing the long edge, and I'm sinking into this left leg. I'm going to take my hands out to the side, see if they're level, and then bring my gaze out over my left fingers. Always remember to breathe. So I'm going to breathe in here, breathe out. Flip that front hand. As I inhale, as my back hand is going down, my front hand is coming up, reaching up high in reverse warrior. Inhale here. As you exhale, this left hand's going to come down to your left knee. Right hand reaches, extended side angle. And then we'll inhale back into our warrior two, and we'll stand up. So that's a little flow for you to try at home, going from warrior two to reverse warrior, extended side angle, back to warrior two. Practice those warrior twos with the wall to kind of help with your balance and your strength. And I look forward to seeing you in class 3, which is my favorite class. It's our balance class. Thanks, guys.